Okay. It has been 1 week since I finished Chainsaw Man, and I have so many thoughts, bro. I got so many thoughts. I wrote it down all here. Look at all these thoughts I got. I'm not gonna read it all, obviously, but there's just points I made so that I remember what I'm talking about and don't go off track. I sorry, I thought I saw a demon. It's 3:30 right now. I can't focus too much. Here's what I got. Second anime ever. This is my second time watching an anime. My first one being Jujutsu Kaisen. I started this anime journey a couple months ago. I don't count the ones from the past. I won't talk about those, like, because they don't really, I don't count them. But these new ones, okay, these are what I'm counting, okay? So this is the start of my journey. Chainsaw Man is round 2. And I loved it, okay? I know the two fandoms that I know the two fandoms of the two shows that I just mentioned. They're kind of going at it all the time. I'm going to keep it a buck. The side I'm on is Chainsaw Man. It's way better. It wipes the floor with it. I'm so sorry. The emotional attachment I have with Chainsaw Man, it doesn't compare to anything because I never had anything like that with Jujutsu Kaisen. Now, let me get into everything. Now, when I first started this show, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning and I just wanted something to watch. My sleep schedule was cooked, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just pull something up. Chainsaw Man. Hey, bro, I like Chainsaw Man seems pretty cool. I heard a little bit about it. I know a little bit. So let's go up on here, okay? I always see that little Reze, the GIF where she's like, so I'm like, sure, I'll pull it up, I'll watch it. And I thought it was funny, okay? I thought it had some funny moments. I thought it was cool, little homeless boy out here killing devils and stuff. I was like, ooh, okay, he kind of cool. He's homeless and stuff. I don't know. I just thought, he has a little traumatic background. I like that, okay? So we're starting off strong. Then he has a little moment with Pochita, which doesn't affect me at that time. And then he turns into Chainsaw Man, and he starts going ham. And I was like, yo, this is dope. Okay, I like what I'm seeing here. He was killing things, and I was like, ooh, okay. And then Makima pulled up. When Makima pulled up, I was like, ooh. First of all, she called him his pet, and I'm not gonna lie, bro. I know a lot of people are gonna be weirded out by that. I was all for it. I would be her pet too. I'm not gonna lie, but I want to be her pet too. And then she started saying good boy. I was like, okay. Ooh, okay. And then he started barking for her. I'm like, ooh, okay. I mean, I would do the same, so I can't really blame him. Boom. There's that connectivity right there. He starts barking for her. I'm like, yeah, I would do it too. I don't have any shame in saying that. I would bark for her too. So, like, I see that. I'm like, yo, this is funny as hell. I'm trying to stay for the ride. I thought I was about to have a grand old time. I thought I was about to be laughing my ass off like, oh, this is so some hee hee ha ha all this. Like, I thought it was about to be funny. They were gonna have all this, and it was funny. I'm not gonna like act like it wasn't funny. It wasn't all doom and gloom. Like, it was funny. Like, they kept with that funniness. But I just thought it was all gonna be funny because, like, I mean, he's barking for this girl. Then when Aki pulled up, I thought he was an asshole. Warmed up to him. Power pulled up. Thought she was annoying. Warmed up to her. Especially, I mean, she backdoored him. That was pretty messed up. Kobeni pulled up. She was annoying as hell. I genuinely hated her. Like, I genuinely did not like her. That hotel episode, or arc, or whatever the hell you call it, I fell in love with Chainsaw Man during that phase. But, oh my gosh, I hated Kobeni so much. She genuinely pissed me off so bad. Like, I genuinely did not, like, I did not like her at all. She was pissing me off. Oh my gosh, I thought they were gonna kill her. I genuinely thought Himeno was gonna lose her shit and just be like, you know what? Screw you, and I thought she was just gonna push her into the Eternity Devil. I thought it was grits, and I would have been laughing. And what really hooked me was when the devil, brought up a proposition, proposed Denji, the chainsaw heart, everyone else leaves unscathed. And that hooked me because of the reaction from Denji being different from most other protagonists. You know how most other protagonists, they're gonna be like, no, don't. I won't let you guys. Wait, what would they say? Don't. I don't want you guys suffering because of me. I'll go. You guys stay. I'll stay. You guys go. Usually that's their reaction, okay? They're willing to sacrifice themselves so that everybody else can live. And then the side cast is like, no, don't do it. We'll find a different way. And all that. This was different. Denji's like, dude, I don't want to die. We're gonna have to come something else, something different, bro. That's off the table. Okay, if I'm dying, we all dying. Okay, and if I'm leaving, we all leaving. That's just how it goes. I'm not leaving. I'm not staying here by myself. I'm trying to live a good life. My life has sucked for most of my life. I finally get something good. I'm not about to throw. I'm not gonna throw it all away already. I'm trying to live this out. So we're gonna have to find something different. So that's what they do, and I thought that was really cool because usually you don't see that with protagonists. Usually the protagonist is willing to sacrifice himself for his friends or for the greater good or whatever. So I thought, okay, this is kind of cool. Like, now he's a little more interesting. He has a little bit, he's not generic. He has a personality. And then they made it out, and, you know, Himeno barfed in his mouth, which was really gross. And then she tried to sleep with him, which was also gross because that's a minor. And then they were going to, like, you know, set each other up with different, you know, in relationships with Makima and Aki. I thought that was cute. You know, I'm not a shipper, but I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm a little, I try to say I'm not, I try to not do that, but like sometimes I just can't help it, okay? So I was like, yo, I'm trying to see Aki and Himeno, bro. I was a little excited. And then she died. And I was like, damn, I wasn't expecting that. Like, I was used to Stranger Things, because Stranger Things was the last show I watched, and their deaths are super predictable. So when somebody, like, I'm expecting that to happen. When Himeno died, I wasn't expecting that. That took me by surprise because I wasn't used to that. Like, I had grown accustomed to all the people surviving and them making it out. So it was a little bit different. You know, it's different, you know, experiencing the death of a character that you were not expecting and kind of wanted to see a little bit more of. And the Katana hybrid devil thing was, like, dope as hell. He was cool. His voice was menacing. I watched it in dub, by the way. But, like, his voice was dope. And I thought I liked that little thing that he does, like this. I thought I liked that move a lot. That was a really cool move. He was spamming it though, but like it was cool. He was spamming that shit a lot though. Like that was kind of annoying. Like, damn, you just gonna keep using it? You don't got something else in your bag? You're just gonna keep doing that same move? Like, okay, I mean, yeah, it works a lot, but damn, I mean, it didn't work too much. Got you sliced in half. But I'm just saying, like, you know, switch it up a little bit. I'm getting a little. I mean, like, hey, that's what Denji said. You put the dick in predictable. Oh my gosh, I just came with a revelation myself, an obvious one at that, but I don't care. But that was dope. But watching the anime, watching the series, the 12 episode series, what made me fall in love with it was the connection I built in with the characters. So for me, and I guess for many, when you're watching something, you want to see a reflection of yourself with the characters, okay, with at least one. I got it with two. Okay, I got lucky. I lucked out. I got it with two of the characters. I got it with Denji, and I got it with Aki. Those were like my two. Those were my twins. More so Aki than Denji by a long shot. With Denji, I'm gonna sound like a loser here, but when Denji with his I guess his relationship with girls and all that, and how he kind of just like wants to get with, like, I mean, bro, he just wants to touch some boobs. I'm not trying to say that's not my goal, obviously. I mean, like, it'd be cool. Oh, this is weird. I mean, I'm just saying the reasoning behind why he is kind of so lustful is like comes from the absence of those types of relationships in his youth and growing up and all that. Like, that's why he is the way that he is. Like, I don't want to sound like a loser, but like I can relate to that, and I see that, and I understand why he is that way, and I can, I guess, sympathize with that, and it makes me, you know, a little more connected to the character. With Aki, I see his cold demeanor that masks his, like, I guess, emotional sensitivity, and that kind of, I relate to that, because, like, I mean, like, outside of this, I know I'm a little energetic here, giddy, and all this, but, like, in real life, you know, off camera and all this, like, I'm a very, like, cold, I'm a much colder person. I'm very quiet. I'm very, you know, calm, and collected. I don't say much. I'm very, you know, I'm like Aki, like I just said. And that's I'm not trying to be corny and be like, yo, I'm a lone wolf. I'm all cold, and, you know, you don't want to, like, no, I'm genuinely just a lot colder, and in real life, I'm much more reserved. So that's what I see in Aki. But beyond that, I see, you know, how he uses that to mask, you know, that emotional sensitivity, which is kind of like what I do too. So I see that, and I can relate to that, and I see the reflection, and it makes me a little more connected, not only to the character, but to the show in general. And then when, like, Makima was just killing a bunch of people, when she was, first of all, when she got shot, when everybody got shot, once again, I thought all of them were gonna come back. Got you that Stranger Things fatigue was hitting hard. Okay, I thought they were all coming back, but they didn't come back. Only Makima did, and then she started squishing people, and I was like, okay, whoa, what is happening? That was kind of all right now. I mean, I let her squish me between her thighs, but damn, she's squishing people a little too much. She killing them. I was a little crazy. But yeah, that's just that sums up. That's the first part. Okay, that's the anime. That's the episode. That's the series. Now I want to get to the movie, and that's important to me. So to start it off, I'm gonna just give you a little preview. These were all the tweets this is what I was spamming, okay? This is all my thoughts, okay? This is what was happening right after that movie came out. Or right after, not came out, but right when I watched it, okay? This is everything that was happening. That was going through my head. I was devastated. I was so devastated. Like, watching everything that the two of them went through, like, I was cheesing the whole time. I couldn't stop smiling. I was so happy seeing Denji happy with a girl that, like, it seemed like she genuinely liked him for him. She taught him how to swim. I thought that was kind of crazy that she, just got naked. I mean, like, you couldn't have kept a little bit of clothes on, but alright, bro, whatever. But like, I like, everything was just so cool. The school scene where they're in the school, she's kind of teaching him some stuff, giving him that little, little taste of schooling. I thought it was beautiful. And then she took out that one dude, that little hitman. I was like, whoa, she's hiding some combative abilities here. And when she did that, I thought she was hiding her, like, little abilities. I thought she was hiding that from Denji because she didn't want to show him up. The way I saw it was like she wanted to put on an act, a helpless damsel in distress, all this, ooh, I can't take care of myself. I need a big, strong man to help here, or something like that. I don't know. I thought she just wanted to see if Denji could do that, or just didn't want to show him up and make him insecure, something like that. So that was my interpretation of that. Okay, I didn't know she was really a demon, so I thought she really liked him for that and just didn't want to show him up. And then we get to the fireworks area, and oh my gosh, when she bit off his tongue, I was like, yo, this girl's a freak. She's biting off his tongue, bro. Oh my gosh, like, damn. I mean, that's a little too freaky for me. You gotta pipe it back. And then she started cutting him up. I'm like, yo, this girl's not a freak. She's trying to kill him. Like, bro, she started trying to, like, kill him, and then she said she wants to take out his heart, and that hurt. That hurt bad. And she seemed like so, like, oh my gosh, it hurt. And then being pulled up, he's like, yo, I'm saving you. I was like, what is happening, bro? Like, bro, she started killing people. She said, boom. I was like, whoa! She's like, she was going nuts to butts. And then my phone died. And I was at dinner watching this movie too. So my phone died, and I was like, bro, I gotta get home and watch this. I was literally so hurt from the betrayal too. I was sitting there thinking the whole time, the whole dinner, I was literally like this the whole time. My dad sees me, he's like, yo, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. No, I'm not, dude. And now, even then, like, every time I hear Reze's voice, like, bro, I just feel betrayed and heartbroken. Because her voice, like, was genuinely giving me butterflies, bro. Like, oh my goodness, dude. And she just seemed so caring and loving and affectionate. Like, I felt like I was Denji. Like, I thought she was taking me out on dates and stuff. I was like, damn, this is kind of nice. Like, I was like, whoa. And then she was, like, just going crazy, dude. She was, like, first of all, hats off to that animation. That animation was beautiful. I've always said that anime, like, the animation in anime literally wipes the floor with any other animation, American, whatever the hell, bro. Like, nothing can compare to what they got going on in Japan. Okay, they be snapping. Okay, I don't know, bro. Something with anime, they just know what they're doing. Like, it is beautiful. It is genuinely beautiful. They don't always get it right, but when they get it right, they get it right, and they mostly get it right. It was beautiful. Yo, Invincible, take some notes or something. Yo, get Mappa on Invincible. But yeah, those fight scenes were beautiful. And then, and then when Denji got her in the ocean, and they just kind of sat together, I thought that was really beautiful. They had a lot of beautiful moments. Even when they were fighting, like, it was still, it was just, my heart. And then they're on the beach, and and Denji was like, I still like you. I was like, Denji, you goddamn moron, bro. What is wrong with you? You still like her? Like, are you stupid? And then he explained himself. I was like, damn, okay, well, maybe I should shut my ass up. You're still a little dumb, but okay. And then she snapped his neck. And the way I interpreted that was this. Okay, so before she says, like, yo, I want, if you let me go, you're cooked. So I saw it as she snapped his neck so that he would have an excuse as to why he let her go, because he was gonna let her go no matter what, for sure, and she probably knew that. So she snapped his neck so that he would have an excuse, and I thought that was beautiful because I was like, damn, maybe she might have really been lying about not giving a damn. And then she goes back to the cafe where Denji said he'd be. Denji was there, and she was gonna be there. And then Makima pulled up, and Femboy Angel started killing him, bro. Femboy Angel had some dope ass weapons, dude. I'm not gonna lie, his weapons were so cool. He had this that heavenly spear. He was just dropping down. Oh my gosh. Honestly, the Femboy Angel especially, bro, he was confusing me the whole time because I kept seeing him in the intro, and he was like a bunch of times, which confused me because you're in the intro a lot for a character that barely shows up. So I'm just like, what is going on? But he was dope. I really liked his character. It was a little funny. It was a little nutty seeing him, at that pool scene. But I was like, hey, bro, I wasn't sure if he was a dude or not either. But hey, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, bro. He was bad. Like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie. But seriously, though, he was dope. And that weapon was fire. Makima, you're a bitch. Then we saw Denji in the cockpit. I was heartbroken seeing that with the bouquet of flowers. I thought that was beautiful. Then Power walked in, and Power was like, I thought they were about to set something up with Denji and Power. And then they started eating the flowers. I was like, oh, okay, dope. I like their little sibling relationship. I thought it was cute. But then the movie ended, and I was depressed because the movie ended, and it was depressing. It was so sad. Like I don't think I've ever been that depressed after watching a movie, or I don't know if I've ever been that depressed after watching anything. Like maybe games, I don't know. Usually though, when I'm depressed after watching something, it's because it ended. Like it's not because of the contents of what happened. It's usually just because it ended, and I have to wait, or it's just officially over. This was like a whole new form of depression. I couldn't find anything new. I couldn't find anything new to watch. I tried to watch Frieren because I'm going down the new gen route. So I tried to watch that. Couldn't get through a minute of it because I was still depressed. Couldn't stop thinking about the Reze Arc. Tried to watch other animes. Didn't work. I tried to do everything in my power to move on and watch something new because I really want to watch more anime. But I just could not move on. It was impossible. And then it got to the point where I was like, you know what, bro? It's cooked. I went on TikTok. I started scrolling. I seen somebody crying. I started tearing up. I was like, oh my gosh, bro, I can't do this. Like, it was just that it genuinely, like a movie, no movie has ever broken me like that movie did. Then I started reading the manga. Okay, I was like, you know what? I want more Chainsaw Man. I want to feel something. Can't really get into anything else. So I'm going to read the manga. And that's what I did. New segment, short segment. Not going to talk about the whole thing. Okay, I just want to talk about a specific part that I guess really helped me get through that little depressive state that I was in post, Reze Arc. And that was this. Okay, this is going to a spoiler warning if you haven't watched or read or blah 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 blah. Okay, if you don't care, watch. If you don't want to see this, click off, come back in a couple years when they animate this, or come back in a couple minutes when you're done reading this part. But I read this part, and I started crying. Okay, and it was big for me, because first of all, I wanted to cry. I needed something to be sad about again, something that could match the emotional impact of the movie. But on top of that, I really just wanted, what was I saying? I wanted to fill that void. And I think the cry really did help. And when I say cry, I don't mean no weak ass like cry that I did when I played The Walking Dead, where I teared up a little bit and I was like, damn. No, I'm talking, I was like this. I was like this, first of all, on the bed that I was in on the cruise ship, and I was like this. I was like, I was like hiccuping and stuff. I was genuinely crying, and I never do that. That has never happened to me in the history since I was like a little kid. Okay, look, I've cried to five things in my history of being a little media consumer. Okay, I cried to Pokemon when I was like 6. I cried to Brother Bear in like the 2nd grade. I cried to something else. I don't remember what. I cried to The Walking Dead. Technically, it was a really weak cry, but a cry nonetheless. And now Chainsaw Man. Now I forced it at first because I wanted to cry, like I said, like I forced it at first, but I knew it was real when I started hiccuping, because that's what I do when I'm really crying. Like I start to hiccup a little bit. I wasn't snotting and there wasn't that many tears, but there was some hiccups, so that was more than enough for me to be like, damn, I'm crying. And that cry lifted that void that I had after watching the movie. Like, it genuinely helped. Like, I don't think I would be over it even today if I did not cry after reading the manga. Like, it would still be here. I'd probably still be depressed. I was listening to, you know, all the Chainsaw Man tunes and everything. It that helped too. But I think the cry, I really understand what they mean by like needing a good cry. Like, I really understand that, because that really did help me get over that shit. Like, it helped me exponentially, because like I said, I would not be over it if I didn't do that. And why that really hurt for me reading that was like, for so many things, the lead up to that point, I'm not gonna mention that, but like, she killed Makima, or Makima killed Reze because of purely selfish reasons, purely because she wanted the heart. And on top of that, she never once saw Denji for Denji. The only person that saw Denji in an intimate way was the girl that she killed. So that, like, I was thinking about all that and everything. Like I'm telling you, the second I read it, I literally threw my phone and curled up. Like, I don't do that like that. So it hurt. Like, and seeing that, like, she never saw him for who he was as a person. She only saw the chainsaw heart. Like that messes with your soul, bro. So, you know, I read that, started crying, and then, you know, I got up after all that, and I just started smiling. I was like, damn, like, that void that I had is gone. Okay, I still get a little, like I said, I get a little sad when I hear her voice. Still get a little teared up, you know, thinking about certain things. Like, now when I see that scene with Pochita and Denji, when Pochita's like, I want to see your dreams, that gets me teared up a little bit. Like, now I really feel a connection with Denji. Okay, now I really feel that connection with Denji. So I see things now, and I think I'm fine. Like, I'm really emotionally invested, which is what you want with fiction, especially. Like, that emotional investment is what kind of it builds memories. You know, it does. So I'm happy that I got introduced to this Chainsaw Man thing. But that being said, I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover. If you want me to talk about the manga, like I said, let me know. I think I said it. I don't know. If you want me to cover it, though, let me know. Or cover it. My reaction is what I'm saying. But if you want my reaction, let me know. I'm going to see you guys later. If you got, you know, share this video with your, you know, of age sister, daughter, whatever, you know, put me on, you know, if you got grandparents, put them on to my content, but not to me. Okay, that would be a little weird if I was getting put on to grandparents. I don't know what am I talking about, bro? See, that's that Denji shit that I start talking about. Okay, I'm gonna see y'all later. I swear, I'm gonna see you guys later. Subscribe, share, whatever. I'm done. Bye.